Hello, Ryan here, another sound design session. What I'd like to do today is take what I started in the last one. I had this cavernous guitar tone, a simple melody to go with it, and I'm going to add to that. I got this idea to take one of my other guitars and record some kind of chiming fifths to go along with the melody there. What I'm also going to show you is I'm going to do some additional processing to this recording. I'm actually going to take and reverse the transients on it and then reamp that back through my guitar pedal board, the same one used to get this original cavernous guitar tone. The idea was actually sent to me by a buddy of mine through Facebook, so you'll get to hear what that sounds like, or at least my interpretation of it. So here we go. Okay, we're back. So here's the recording that I just laid down. Let's just solo this and hear what it sounds like all on its own. What I did with this was I actually recorded this direct into my audio interface. So all the processing you hear on this is done right in Ableton. So for that, what I did was just added a Native Instruments guitar rig effect. If you watch my last video, you'll see how I used this effect with our original melody sound in this custom audio effect rack. For this one, I took a much simpler approach. If I open this up, you can see I'm just using a stock preset called arpeggio delays. The only modification I made to this was to add a screamer component. This is just to give it a little bit of drive and to boost the tone a bit. So in addition to that, I also took the liberty of mixing this in with the original sound a bit better. Level is dropped to where it's kind of balanced with that. It's panned a bit to the right, and I'm sending out to my reverb channels here. Okay, so next what we're going to do is take this file and put it onto a new track. So I'm going to create a new audio track, and I'm going to copy this down. Okay, so this one, if I solo it, should have no processing on it. This should just be the direct guitar signal going into my audio interface. So now I'm only really going to be interested in these three chimes here. There's some parts within this recording where I did some variations. These ones here in the middle are very different. So I'm just going to get rid of those. And we're just going to stick with the chiming ones. So the next step is I'm going to split these along all the transients. So where these peaks are, that's where I want to split it. So I'm going to change my channel to fades. This way I can right click and hit split, or I believe it's Control E for a shortcut. Just do that here with all of these. And the last ones, I'm going to have to zoom in a bit since the tempo changes slightly. So we've got these split. Looks like there's some little bits coming in here. My timing playing this wasn't perfect, so we can smooth that out. What I'm going to do is just select all of these clips here, and I'm going to change this to be the complex warp mode. I find this tends to work pretty well with any non-vocal recordings. And we're just going to look at these here and see if we need to do anything. So we can see here on this one, there's a little bit of a little sound bit there. So what we'll do is kind of zero in on that. I'm going to put my warp marker here, and another one here, turn off my grid. Just slide this back so it's beyond the marker. So now we don't see it there. And just go through and look at each of these and make sure that's the same on all of them. Oh, here's one. Okay, the rest of those look pretty good visually. So now I'm going to fill in these gaps here so we have a continuous part. So I'm going to take this one and copy it here. And maybe take this one, copy it in the middle, and then the same deal here, copy this one there. So it's a little bit random. It's not always just the same loop over and over again. So let's just solo that and hear what it sounds like. The next step is to take this, these reverse transients, and send it out to my guitar pedal board and record the result coming back in. So I'm going to use the same settings on my pedal board that I did for my original melody recording up here. This was on the last video. So I'm going to jump over and show you how I've got that set up, and then we'll come back and massage this into the mix.
Okay, so what I've got here is my guitar pedal board, same as last time. I've got the same exact settings that I used on the original recording. What's different though is instead of connecting my guitar to the pedal board, I've got this little blue box connected to the pedal board instead. What that box is, it's a Reamp box. It's a product that comes from Radial Engineering. What it does is it takes the signal coming from my audio interface and it drops it down to a level that's appropriate for guitar pedals and guitar amps. So it's basically mimicking the voltage signal that you would get from an actual guitar. So what I'm going to do is play the edited part through this box and into the pedal board and record the results so you guys can hear it.
Okay, so I've taken the liberty to set some of this up. I've got an audio track that's sending out to the Reamp box that's going into my pedal board. I've got another audio track here that's going to process or receive the signal from my pedal board. So on this track, the one that's receiving the signal, I've copied down most of the settings from our original Cavernous guitar tone. So this has the custom audio effect rack and some of the pre and post processing. The only thing I've changed here is I modified the EQ curve a bit just to pull out some of the middle. That should let the other guitar sounds come through a bit more. And then I've added a bit more compression overall to this. I've pulled out the multi-band dynamics compressor, which was giving the low end a bit more weight. On the signal going into the pedal board, I've also added a compressor just to kind of give that even more compression than a normal guitar signal would already have. So I'm going to copy down our edits that we made. And then I'm going to play this just on its own so you can hear it. Not bad. Nice sustained sound with a lot of movement to it. It should give this track some extra texture. So here's what this sounds like with everything together. So this is our reverse signal being processed through the pedal board, the recording we just made, and then our original cavernous guitar tone melody. So yeah, pretty cool. If you like what you see here, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.